Hello, hello, my friends. It is time for the Friday Five, a series that I attempt to put up every week. If you've been following me, you know that is false. I have not been able to get this up every Friday, but this is a series that I have a goal of putting up every week where I share with you guys 5 candles that are currently in my burn rotation, give you guys some updated post-burn thoughts. Some of these candles are new. Some of these I am loving. You're going to find one of these was a miss for me. And then sometimes if I just have anything else fun to share with you guys, say like a small candle haul, spoiler alert, I've got a little haul to share with you guys. I will usually tack that on at the end. So this again is kind of like what a lot of creators here in the home fragrance community like to do, kind of like a weekly synopsis. And for me, I just figured, well, I'm going to try to narrow it down to 5. I might be talking about 6 candles today, but yeah, it's just kind of like a chatty video. So if you feel like grabbing a drink, grabbing a snack, settling in, enjoying some air conditioning, I'm going to tell you guys about what the weather has been like here. You don't always get a weather report from me, but usually I'm complaining about the heat in the summer. But I've got a little bit of a different weather report today, and that the whole reason why I'm bringing that in is because it actually has affected what I have been gravitating towards this week during for what I am burning. So I've got the ceiling fan on because it's still hot inside. I need some cool air, but hopefully it won't dry out my throat too much. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Katie. I love to talk way too much, but I really love to share my thoughts on candles. I don't really do a lot of wax melts. It's not really my thing, but I have a love for soy wax candles in particular. So if you feel like you vibe with me and want to stick around, make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always with this video, I will have all of the candles that I talk about today linked in the description box down below, and I will have timestamps, and any affiliate discount codes can also be found there as well. So let's buckle up, Buttercup, because I haven't done this in a couple of weeks, and you know I've got a lot to talk about. So the reason why I brought up the weather, it is actually cloudy. We have a chance of thunderstorms, I think, all the rest of this week. And I have to tell you guys, being here in the heat in Arizona, we normally, the phrase is, oh, but it's a dry heat. In July, typically, we are supposed to get a weather pattern called the monsoon, which means that we get a lot of moisture coming up from the not the Gulf of Mexico, more like Baja, California. It comes up. Well, the last couple of years, that has been pretty much non-existent. Apparently, we're getting like an El Nino weather pattern. I promise you guys, there's a reason why I'm bringing this all up. So we this week have had thunderstorms. In fact, the first night that we got back, which was Sunday, I've been in California, for those of you who don't know, and it was beautiful and cooler weather, but we got home to some thunderstorms. So we've had a little bit of like just clouds passing by, and for me, it has made me really, really crave fall fragrances, which is a good thing because as a reviewer, I'm starting to get a lot of fall fragrances into my collection. And I know a lot of you guys are wanting some reviews on a lot of these candles. So I have to tell you guys, being in California where I had much cooler weather, we started out in San Diego and then worked our way up the coast to my sister's home. She lives in the Thousand Oaks area, if you are familiar with Southern California layout. In the evenings in particular, the daytime still got pretty warm. I would say it was like in like the 80s, I would say, during the day. But in the evenings, it cools down into the 60s. And for me, you guys, it just solidified that in my mind, I'm feeling a bit over summer fragrances. I knew when I got home, which I missed a lot of my fragrances. I know that sounds silly, but I love fragrance. It solidified for me that I love variety of fragrances. There's something about fragrance that just adds something to my daily life. And anyways, I knew coming home that I was like, okay, I feel done with all of the tropical fruity stuff. I told you guys in previous videos, I knew that when I came home, my mindset was going to shift into fall transitional scents. I was not prepared for when I got home, my mind actually thinking, you know what, I'm actually ready to burn some fall candles this week. And so you're going to see that reflected in what I chose to burn. I do have one candle that I consider more of a transitional scent in here, actually probably 2 that are more transitional scents. But yeah, I was definitely feeling it this week. And so you are going to see that in the variety of candles that I was burning. But we had a fantastic time in Southern California. It was nice and cool in the evenings. I actually sat next to a fire. out at my sister's house. She has like a little fire pit area, just even the thought of needing a hoodie in the summertime is so foreign here in Arizona. So it was a great trip. Enjoyed a lot of time with family. I had some family in San Diego that I visited with, family up the coast. We went to Carpinteria. We went to the beach. We did all the things. And so now I am home. And like I said, I'm really glad that I have storms to help me feel like I'm ready to usher in the fall vibe, because the monsoon pattern here has been so non-existent the last few years, and to actually have rain. Rain is such a rare sight here in the desert that I get really excited about it. So that was my little weather report with Katie. I probably lost a bunch of you guys, or some of you guys have said, okay, Katie, let's hush. Let's get on to the candles here. So let's do that. 6 minutes into the video. All right. The first candle that I want to talk about, I am actually burning right now. This was part of the Caramel Sundays fall restock, their July restock, which happened this last Sunday. Just quick little note on that. I'll talk about this more in the Caramel Sundays, my haul video, which I should have next week up for you guys. They came prepared. Caramel Sundays, a lot of people, they don't like the, what would I call it? Like the Hunger Games style of shopping. But I have to say, I am filming this on Wednesday, July 15th, and there are still a number of candles still in stock. There were a couple that went like that, right? The October Embers and the Pumpkin Cashmere. But the rest of the stuff, it felt like they had enough in stock for people to kind of be able to shop leisurely. So kudos to them. And as of the time that I am filming this, there are actually still some candles in stock. Now, one of the ones that is not still in stock, but rest assured, you guys, I have heard that this one is coming back next month. I am currently burning Autumn Jam. So Autumn Jam has fragrance notes of top notes of apple and citrus, mid notes of cranberry and spice, base notes of wood and dried clove. And I have the lid here with me. I'm burning it right now, but I'm going to tell you guys, I've been burning it for a few hours now. And one of the things that I find for me personally, this is pretty much with every candle. When I've been burning a candle for like about that 3-4 hour mark, I do tend to go a little bit nose blind if I'm just sitting in the room with it. I usually have to leave the room and come back in for me to smell it again. That's just, again, my nose is very, very acclimated to fragrance. Okay, but Autumn Jam, I will say from the July restock, this was like I recommended this candle really, really highly. I had it last year, loved it. I would say my number one recommendation was Hawkins Autumn, but it like almost tied with it was Autumn Jam. Why do I love Autumn Jam so much? First and foremost, it is a distinctly fall fragrance. However, I feel like it's a really good early fall fragrance. I feel like it's a great transitional scent. To me, you guys, what my nose picks up on, I pick up on cranberry, which Caramel Sundays does cranberry really, really well. You all know I love the way that they do pistachio. I love the way that they do pecan. I love the way that they do cranberry. That is another note that they do very, very well. I pick up on cranberry, but there is a little bit of sweetness of apple. You get those top notes in there. This is not an apple forward fragrance. I think that there's a little bit of sweetness that's balancing out the cranberry note in here with that apple and citrus on the top notes. But to me, you guys, I'm not going to smell this and be like, oh, there's a bright apple and citrus. No, it's mainly cranberry. And what I'm getting is that wood and dried clove. A lot of people will say this is kind of like giving craft store vibes. And I get where people are saying that. Like, I think it's the spices. It's that clove. Maybe, I don't know if there's any cinnamon in here. My nose doesn't detect like straight up cinnamon, but it's dried clove. It's dried wood. It's beautiful. I absolutely love this fragrance. Spoiler alert for next week's haul. I did pick it up in a 4-wick. So I'm currently burning my 2-wick here in the living room, getting great performance out of it. I would say the 2-wick is about a 7 for me in terms of strength and throw in my Hurricane. The other thing that I wanted to say, you guys, I've always talked about this in a lot of my candle reviews, but I don't, I'm not a professor. I'm not a scientist. I just have my own theories that I throw out there, and I'm not claiming to know anything and everything really. But one of the things that I have noticed is that we have had an uptick in humidity this week, which, I don't have windows open or anything like that. I'm running air conditioning. But one of the things that I have noticed with all of my candles across the brands, is that almost all of them out here in my open concept living room, they were like bangers. Like there were candles that were bangers for me before I left, which was a couple of weeks ago, you know, like 2 weeks ago when we had more dry air. And I've noticed this week that while I can still smell them, they are not as strong. And there's part of me that is wondering if the rise in the humidity levels has affected something. I don't know. Those of you guys who know a little bit more about candle science, you guys can chime in down below, or maybe some of you who have researched it. I would be really curious to know if there's anything about that, or if my mind is just imagining things, which it could be completely doing that. You guys, I told you, I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about that. But it's one of the things that I've kind of noticed this week, and it's been, again, it's not just one brand. It's been all of them. So anyways, Autumn Jam though, still doing quite well out here in the living room for me. I will tell you guys that if you shopped the Caramel Sundays drop, if you purchased Autumn Jam, the candle that I'm currently burning with it, this is going to be like, this one I'm not technically including in my Friday 5, but whatever. It's my channel. I can do whatever I want. I can make up whatever rules I want. The candle I'm currently burning it with right now is Fall Gathering. And Fall Gathering on Caramel Sunday's website, they say that it is very comparable to Bath & Body Works Harvest Gathering, as well as Yankee Candle's Farmer's Market. I haven't gotten my nose on those candles in quite some time. What I will tell you is that Fall Gathering, I love that one. Again, I ordered another one, and I initially didn't order another one. However, it is not returning in the August restock. And I'm going to tell you that one also has a really nice, it's not as cranberry forward. There's a little bit more of like, there's some berries. There's a little bit of peach, but the peach is not as noticeable as, say, their salted peach butter candle. It's not a very peach forward fragrance to me. But again, you get a lot of clove in that one. And I really, really love it. It pairs beautifully with Autumn Jam. Now, again, at the time that I'm filming this video, which is on Wednesday, Fall Gathering in the 2-wick is still in stock on the Caramel Sundays website. So if you purchased Autumn Jam, and you're wanting something to burn alongside it that complements, if you're like me, you like your fragrance to, you know, work nicely with each other as you move from room to room throughout your house, I would highly recommend purchasing Fall Gathering. I don't think it's coming back this year. So if you like that fragrance and it's still in stock, you might want to head over to the website to pick it up. But really loving that fragrance as well. Now, I have also been burning a couple of Kringle candles this week. I've actually been burning quite a few from this new fall drop. But before we get to the fall drop, we're going to talk about the drop before that. This was part of the Reserve collection. And if you guys caught my Kringle haul video, this is one that was like a last minute addition. This is the fragrance Silver Eucalyptus. Silver Eucalyptus has fragrance notes of eucalyptus leaf, orange zest, cinnamon leaf, clove, tonka bean, heliotrope flower, patchouli, and vanilla sugar. Now, again, you guys, this was a last minute addition for me. I'm not mad at all that I purchased this. This is a beautiful fragrance. This one, I'm going to say, you guys, this is another one that I think is a really nice transitional scent. Truthfully, you guys, if you're not a seasonal burner, if you like kind of those fresh, almost spa-like types of vibes, but also if you're leery about spa scents, because I usually am, I'm usually very leery of like very clean, cotton, fresh scents because they tend to give me a headache. Don't let that scare you off. This is beautiful. Now, do I smell eucalyptus? Yes, I do. It is a eucalyptus scent. However, there is a mixture in here of, it's the clove with the vanilla sugar. I think they said it's a vanilla sugar. Yeah, clove, vanilla sugar, tonka bean. There is kind of like a warmth and sweetness that is accompanying the eucalyptus in this candle that is absolutely beautiful. I have really, really been enjoying burning this candle in the evenings in particular. There's just something about it that gives kind of like a calming but also clean presence to my home. But there's warmth to it. It's not as, again, it's not as, I don't even want to say as like sterile or as generic as a lot of like typical aromatherapy types of candles get to be. In true Kringle fashion, this is something that's a little bit conceptual. and yet it's not too outside of the box. It's beautiful. It's beautifully done. I have been so surprised by how much I have been enjoying this one. And I have to tell you guys, this has been pairing beautifully. My favorite combination right now that I've been pairing this with is the white pumpkin and sage from the fall lineup. I'll probably talk about that one next week in the Friday 5. That one, I still love the fragrance, but it is a lighter fragrance. So I do burn that one in my bedroom. I put this one out here in the open concept. And the other fragrance that pairs really beautifully with this is cedar incense from the new fall lineup. That's also really, really nice pairing. If you're wanting something that feels a little bit more, again, earthy, um, slightly clean and aromatherapy like, but oh, it's beautiful, you guys. Beautiful, beautiful combination. And I'm going to tell you guys, this one for me, again, this is the new 3-wick format. I'm not having any issues with the wicks. This one is burning beautifully for me, and strength and throw is very, very good. 8.5, almost 9 on this one for me. But again, it's not headache inducing. Very, very pleasant, very noticeable. I've really been loving this one. So keep your eyes peeled, you guys. I will make sure that I do a dedicated review on this. You guys will see probably over the next 2 weeks, I am going to make my best effort to get a couple of these fall reviews done for you. Let's see. Oh, there's my daughter. I'm going to do my best to get a couple of reviews done for you guys on these, because I know if you guys are following Kringle over on Instagram, they have teased that their Halloween will be launching. I want to say it's August 7th. So Halloween will be launching here in a couple of weeks, and I want to make sure that I get reviews done on the fall collection prior to that launch, in case you're wanting to save money on shipping and you've been waiting for some reviews on the fall collection, or even the what was it, like the summer reserves and that summer, what was it, like the patriotic collection and just like a summer collection, I guess. Want to make sure I get those reviews out. So if you notice that my reviews tend to be a little Kringle heavy over the next couple of weeks, that is why. Now, let's talk about another Caramel Sundays candle that, you guys, this one is what I would say would epitomize when I say a summer to fall transitional scent, or a year-round fragrance, truthfully. This is one of those fragrances that I am talking about. It is the fragrance Cowgirl. Now, you can't really see the label much here. I'm sure you'll see it in the close-up. Cowgirl has fragrance notes of vanilla orchid, brown sugar, Mediterranean fig, maple, and sea salt. Now, a lot of people have drawn a comparison. They say that this is really similar to Bath & Body Works brown sugar and fig. I haven't gotten my nose on that, but I will tell you guys that I love this scent. I, as well as my friend Shar from Shar Scents here on YouTube, we say that this is the fragrance. It's like, it's just that girl. It gives off those like kind of clean girl aesthetic. You know, when you think of somebody who just has like a clean home, maybe like almost like a, I don't want to say like a clean vanilla aesthetic. There's no vanilla really that I smell in here. It's just beautiful. Now my nose does detect fig, and I do detect like a sweetness in here. Now the brown sugar accord in here is done really well. I'm going to talk about a candle here in a moment that the brown sugar accord my nose does not like. But this one, I like it in here. It's a sweet fig type of fragrance. I am planning probably within the next couple of weeks to do a video. Let me know if you would like to see it. I'm planning to do a video in a couple of weeks sharing with you my favorite or my top choices for summer to fall transitional scents. Because I know a lot of you guys are not like me, right? Like, I'm a reviewer. I start burning candles. I start burning fragrances ahead of the season, so that way I can get thoughts out to all of you guys. But I know that there's quite a few of you guys who have you're still like full on in summer mode. Perhaps you live in an area of the country where you guys are finally just getting summer temperatures. It's been hot here in Arizona since March. So I am definitely at this point over summer scents, but I know a lot of you guys are still enjoying them. But coming into the month of August, maybe some of you guys might wind down on those like heavy tropical fruity scents, but you're not ready for all of the apple and spice and pumpkin. I want to do a video sharing with you guys some of my favorite fragrances for that time if you're a seasonal burner. And spoiler alert, you guys, one of the fragrance notes that I have come to realize that I really, really enjoy late July, August is fig. And this definitely has a fig note going on in it. It's absolutely beautiful. Sea salt, maple. Yeah, I wish Caramel Sundays would keep this around, like just kind of like year round, because it's such a beautiful fragrance. Again, I think a lot of people would enjoy this one. Now, I am going to say, I have this in the 2-wick and the 4-wick. The 4-wick, I get much better strength and throw out of. The 2-wick does a good job in my bedrooms, but it kind of gets lost out in the open concept. But the 4-wick out here in the open concept in a hurricane has done a really, really good job. So really been enjoying this fragrance. Now, another Kringle candle from, this is from the new fall collection. No, it is not the white pumpkin and sage. It is the other pumpkin fragrance, Pumpkin Cashmere. So Pumpkin Cashmere has fragrance notes of nutmeg, cinnamon, cashmere, orange, tonka bean, vanilla, and musk. Now, I was just checking in on the Kringle Facebook group, and I know a lot of people were saying that they placed orders on launch day last week, and for whatever reason, a lot of us didn't get shipping notifications until, you know, I know a lot of people were actually, as of the day that I'm filming this, still awaiting shipping notifications. Mine shipped out yesterday on Tuesday. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm going to tell you this. As you're getting these orders in, I'm going to tell you, Pumpkin Cashmere, it's so interesting. When I initially got my nose on this, I wasn't so sure about it. It was like, I liked it, but I was picking up on kind of that musk note. And that was turning me off, to be honest with you guys. The musk and even the cashmere, I think to some degree, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. I'm going to tell you guys, this one burning, I am absolutely loving. I'm definitely getting, in here, there's a warmth to it. I think that's the spices, the nutmeg and the cinnamon, but I get more nutmeg than I get cinnamon in this. This is not an overly like red hot cinnamon fragrance to my nose. Now, there is a sweetness coming from the orange. So I would say for those of you who purchased last year, they had a fragrance called, in the Halloween lineup called Pumpkinhead. I think it was Pumpkinhead. I am going to tell you that had a pumpkin and an orange note. And for some people, that was a little bit too strong. And I'm going to tell you guys, I actually, the longer that I burned that candle, the more I would say like I was a little bit put off by it. I initially loved it, but again, the more I burned it, I started to pick up on that orange note. And somebody said that it smelled like dill pickle, and I couldn't unsee that, right? So I had that in my mind, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of getting that. Last year, my favorite pumpkin fragrance from the Halloween lineup was Lil Devil. I love that. Basic, boring, good spiced pumpkin scent. Where am I going with this? Okay, this to me, it's funny. There's no pumpkin note listed in here, which is kind of funny that it's called Pumpkin Cashmere. But this is kind of like a very nutmeg forward, but there's a cashmere. There's kind of a little bit of a perfuminess to this. It's very pretty. I've really been enjoying this. Again, a really nice evening burn. I really like burning this with Aspen Ridge because that's a very like apple, but also kind of woody type of thing going on. And Aspen Ridge with this pumpkin cashmere has been a very, very beautiful combination. Again, a warmth to it, reminds you of fall, but again, it doesn't scream generic fall. And truthfully, you guys, I'm going to tell you, this has actually been really nice for this time of year because again, it's not fall in the sense of it's and I don't know how to say this. Like I don't mean this in a condescending way or anything. This is not fall that you get at like Bath and Body Works or I don't purchase from Goose Creek, but like not even really from Yankee. This is definitely just a more elevated take on fall, but also at the same time, it's not uniquely fall to me, I guess. I feel like it works right now. If you're somebody who just likes warm, inviting scents to burn at any time of the year, I think that you will like this one. So I'm also getting decent performance on this. I will say that the first burn of this was slightly light, but the second and third burns, like last night I had this out here in the open concept and it was definitely detectable. I would say it was probably about a 7 for me. So I would be really curious to see what the 4-wick does. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, as of the time that I am filming this, this would actually be repurchase worthy for me. I don't know if I will repurchase it right now in this season just because I have a lot of fall candles to burn through and I'm always trying to keep my stash at a, at a decent level for me personally. I don't want to get overwhelmed with fragrance, but I do really, really enjoy this fragrance right now. Absolutely beautiful. This one also goes really nicely with the cedar incense. So again, very, very versatile and really, really enjoying it. All right, and then the last candle that I wanted to show you guys, and this is actually going to segue into my haul. I have a gift gala candle to share with you guys that is unfortunately a fail for me. Not because the performance is bad, it's just that the fragrance upon burn is not really my cup of tea. But I do have a little gift gala haul to share with you guys because these are the candles that I ended up ordering when they launched on July 4th. So this initial candle I purchased in my ambassador pre-order. I did pay for this candle. It was not sent to me in PR. And the reason why I am saying that is because I did list this candle on Mercari. Now, if you're not following me over on Mercari, you might want to go give me a follow, as well as some of my other fellow candle friends here on YouTube. I know a lot of them have Mercari accounts. And that might be a place where you guys can find some fragrances when we decide to declutter and destash. We're oftentimes selling those candles at a good price for all of you guys. So I did want to say, I paid for this. I will never, ever, I am just going to tell you guys that on my Mercari account, I will never sell a candle on there that I received for free in PR. I just don't think that that's ethical. Not something I'm going to do. So just know if you see something listed on Mercari, I did pay for the candle. And that is the case with this one. This is Hallows Eve. Now, this is not currently available on the Gift Gala website. She had this as part of her pre-order for her Autumn Almanac collection. I do believe that she will plan to release this as part of her Halloween collection, which I think she does that in August. I am a Gift Gala ambassador. I will be honest with you guys that I don't shop with her as much as, say, Caramel Sundays or Kringle, which are other brands that I'm affiliated with. But I do like, I have liked quite a few of her products, but some of them don't really hit my nose right. And this, unfortunately, was one of them. Now, what is sad is that I love this one so much on Cold Sniff that I ended up purchasing it in a 4-wick. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what happened, you guys. Fragrance notes on Hallows Eve are pumpkin chai, brown sugar, and spiced apples. So I'm going to tell you guys, I love this. Cold Sniff, loved it. Cold Sniff, I get that chai. I get a little bit of spiced apple. But I lit this up last night. And when a flame got to it, you guys, with the brown sugar accord, I am starting to realize, I should have realized this for a long time, but sometimes I get so excited. I have to remind myself, brown sugar notes in soy wax, once a flame gets taken to them, sometimes my nose says, I don't like that. And I'm going to tell you guys on this one, I know a lot of people detect it as warmth and coziness. My nose detects it as almost being like burnt toast. Like not overly burnt toast, but there's something that comes across almost kind of like yeasty, but slightly scorched. And my nose translates that as almost like fermented or sour. I don't know what it is. My nose doesn't like it. And that's what I started detecting in this one last night. So unfortunately, I got one burn in on it. I don't know if by the time this video goes up, if I will still have this listed on my Mercari account or if somebody will have snagged it by then. But just want to be aware, you guys, I will have my Mercari listed down below in case you want to follow me over there. Keep an eye out. I did sell a Kringle, Kringle 3-wick of warm banana loaf earlier this week as well. So yeah, just if you ever are curious to see, maybe, I might be decluttering some things and putting items on there for sale, you might want to give me a follow over there. But I do already have a subscriber who has reached out to me and said that she is interested in this Hallows Eve. So I'm just waiting for some packaging to show up to be able to, I think she'll probably snag that one from me. But yeah, a little bit of a bummer, you guys. But let's talk about some fragrances that I am really excited about. 2 of these I did have in the wax melts, and I loved them so much that I was like, absolutely, I do want to get those in candle format. So the first one that I got was Blankets and Books. And you're going to see, this is not the standard 2-wick apothecary, that Shelby usually has over on the Gift Gala. I reached out to my friend Amy at Beloved Fragrance Finds, which I think we can all credit Amy with putting Gift Gala on a lot of our radars. I had reached out to her because I said, hey, I'm really interested in this 3-wick honeycomb jar. Have you had experience? And she said, yes, they burn great for her. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. So Blankets and Books. I did really like this in the, I'm trying to look here really quickly. Here's my fragrance notes on it. I was looking for this, looking for these fragrance notes here. I was wanting to get this one after I got the wax melt. So Blankets and Books has fragrance notes of pumpkin vine, cinnamon bark, clove spice, caramelized amber, and smoldering ember. And oh, this is so pretty. Now, Amy's telling me, she's like, you're going to love that one even more so upon burn. I love the earthy element that the pumpkin vine is giving to this. I smell some spices in there. I do smell clove, but it's not like overly like clove in your face. Something slightly, not really smoky, but there is an ember note in here, but it doesn't take over this fragrance. This is just kind of like a, I don't know. You know what's funny? I actually think that I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to wait a little bit longer to light these up. I actually think I might light this one up today. It goes perfect with our cloudy weather. It's almost slightly masculine, but not overly boozy or like tobacco heavy. Kind of woody. It's very, very pretty. Hard to describe, but I know Gift Gala does have like wax melt, so I would suggest before you commit to like a full size, I will have listed right here, I think, how much these retail for. I want to say that these are around the same price as the 2 wicks. And they are, does it say how much wax is in them? Gosh, this is such small writing. It does not say how much wax is in this, but it's a 3 wick as opposed to a 2 wick. So we will try that out. And then the other fragrance that I had bought in the wax melts that you guys know, actually, if you caught that Gift Gala haul, it was my #1 fragrance from this Autumn Almanac collection. It is Spice Cupboard. So Spice Cupboard has fragrance notes of cardamom spice, cracked peppercorn, nutmeg, shortbread, aged patchouli, and toasted praline. And I bought this specifically to burn with the Blankets and Books. Again, I definitely get the cardamom in here. I get a little bit of patchouli, but it's not overly perfumey patchouli. This is kind of a nostalgic fragrance to me. Something about it reminds me of my childhood, and I don't know why, because my mom was not really a great chef or anything. I do detect a little bit of shortbread. I think I got more shortbread in the wax melt than I'm getting it right now on cold. But very, very pretty fragrance. So I will make sure that I keep you guys updated on post-burn thoughts on those, but was really excited to have these on my doorstep when I got home. And then the last fragrance that I decided to pick up that was kind of a blind buy for me, but Amy and McKenna both were pretty confident that I would like this, and I do. This is, I think it's called Plum Embers. Now, I don't have the fragrance notes for Plum Embers. I forgot to write them down beforehand. This is very pretty. This is a really nice plummy, fruity scent. A really great scent, I feel like, for this time of year. Again, another great transitional type of scent. I might burn this with my oat milk and pistachio from Caramel Sundays. I have a 5 wick sitting over there that I'm like, maybe I'll light that up together. Still kind of fruity, but it's more of a like dark autumnal type of fruit instead of it being like bright citrus or bright apple. Yeah, really, really liking that one. So that was a fun little haul that I got. Finally, you guys, I did just want to share with you guys a personal fragrance combo that I'm wearing today that I really like. Again, I'm wanting to highlight something that as of the time that I'm filming this is still in stock. So Caramel Sundays has some little perfume mists. They're smaller here. Now, I purchased this salted caramel apricot in the May restock, and then it came back in the July restock. You guys, I'm letting you know, I bought 2 more of these this last Sunday because I love this scent. Yes, there's a little bit of fruitiness to it, but if you like their Boston scent, which kind of has like a cashmere dry down, there's something like warm, and this isn't overly fruity. There's something about this that is really, really nice for if you like something that feels a little bit more cozy, but it has that fruit element in it. I have been loving this fragrance. I have been pairing it with the body cream Warm Musk from Bath and Body Works. And then if you really want to get crazy with your layering, if you happen to have Brown Girl Jane Peach Aura, or if you have Floor's Vanilla Nectar, you want something a little bit sweeter with this, that's a great combination. But today I am wearing this salted caramel apricot with a couple of spritzes of this Brown Girl Jane Peach Aura with a warm musk as the base. And I just have to say, I smell fantastic today. Tooting my own horn. I do. I smell amazing. I smell amazing to go get my teeth cleaned. So anyways, again, at the time that I'm filming this, this is currently in stock. I think that these are $20.99, and this is for 0.34 fluid ounces. It's like a travel size, which you guys, $20.99 I think is a really, really decent price point considering most travel sizes around this same size at Sephora retail for like anywhere between $30 and $50, depending on what brand you're looking at. So yeah, I feel like it's pretty good, and I have pretty good lasting power out of it. So would highly recommend it. I did buy one for my cousin's daughter as well. She was really intrigued by it. So wanted to let you guys know about that. But I think that covers it. You all know, pretty chatty. I kept it under what? Oh gosh, we're at 35 minutes. So not doing too terribly bad today. But let me know in the comment section down below if any of these have been in your burn rotation. If you have any experience with them, let me know if you participated in either the Caramel Sundays restock. I know a lot of us were just like, oh my gosh, please let everything sell out because I keep going back in and placing more orders. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm going to have a doozy of a haul to share with you guys next week because I ended up placing for myself. I think I ended up placing, so I did the Ambassador pre-order back in June. And then on this restock, I think I placed a total of 3 orders. I went in with my initial order, then I went back in because curiosity got the best of me. And then when I got word that a lot of the candles that were still in stock were not going to be returning for the next month. Now I know Fall Cider is returning in a larger format, and I know, what was the other one that was still on the website? I think Nutty Little Nightmare, I think is going to be returning as well. But all of the other fragrances like the Autumn Leaves, the Always Autumn, there were quite a few fragrances that were still on the website that I was like, ooh, well, maybe I might want more. So I went in and bought more. Not to mention, you guys, I also bought some Hawkins Autumn as gifts for some of my family members as thank yous while they were hosting us this week. So it was a little bit of an expensive week. I did also order a couple of items during the Kringle launch. You guys know that I was sent the fall collection in PR, but I did end up purchasing the Autumn Harvest. That should be here next week. And then I purchased one other candle. You guys can try to make a guess. You guys, what other candle did I burn? I'll give you a little hint. I bought it to burn as a companion to the new Cypress and Sea Spray. Very fig heavy candle. So comment down below if you think you know which one I picked up. But I'll share that with you guys next week. But yeah, all sorts of fun stuff to be talking about here. I'm getting back into the groove of everything here this week. Again, hopefully we'll get some dedicated post-burn reviews out for you guys prior to the Kringle Halloween launch on at least this fall collection. I should be posting, I think the next video that I want to get up is actually my July empties and a little bit of a declutter video. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you are subscribed. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.